You got a grandson now.
When the beautifully made is out there.
Yeah, we gotta come over more often.
Why buy boring?
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
The Banshees of Inisherin!
Fresh off their golden night, also a great morning for the Banshees of Inisherin.
Happening now.
Hotel Emma has been evacuated after a carbon monoxide leak was found inside the building. We'll tell you how many people were sent to the hospital and when guests may be able to return back to their room.
Accused of a boozy hit and run, Councilman Clayton Perry returning to the San Antonio City Council tomorrow. A reaction from his council colleagues and whether they regret not pushing him to resign.
Another mild day today, but that's going to change a bit with the cold front that arrives tonight. We'll talk about how much of an impact it'll have on temperatures and get ready for some strong winds. The News at 5 starts right now.
At first at 5, a hotel cleared out. At least 15 Hotel Emma employees taken to a hospital for potential carbon monoxide poisoning this afternoon.
The San Antonio Fire Department says everyone is expected to be okay. That hotel located at the Pearl has been evacuated as crews look for that potential gas leak.
Our Camelia Juarez has been following this. She joins us live now. Camelia, do we know when people will be allowed back in that building?
Steve, Myra, no, at this time. Right now, we saw guests waiting outside of the hotel, but the hotel says it could take several hours before people can go back inside because fire crews have to first identify that leak and then repair it. San Antonio Fire got the call around 11 after someone was experiencing nausea and a headache. When firefighters arrived, more people expressed similar symptoms. The gas leak is isolated to 1 or 2 floors in the hotel. San Antonio Fire spokesperson Joe Arrington says 15 people, all hotel employees, were taken to the hospital as a precaution.
We're getting the highest readings and got the most complaints of feeling the symptoms of it. It was in an area that is all employees. There were no guest rooms or anything in that area. So the first one we were called for was severe nausea, some vomiting, a headache, and some dizziness.
Now, Hotel Emma originally was a 19th century brew house that was turned into a hotel. It's one of the staples here, and the Pearl's marketing team says that Southerley was closed as a precaution, and it has reopened just about an hour ago. We asked Hotel Emma if the hotel has carbon monoxide detectors and what will happen to guests if that leak is not found today. They didn't respond to those questions at this time. Reporting live from the Pearl, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
There's still a lot of questions there. Thank you, Camelia. Well, despite being accused of driving drunk and fleeing a head-on crash, Clayton Perry plans to return to San Antonio City Council tomorrow. Perry took a leave of absence November 14th after news broke of his possible involvement in a hit-and-run crash just a week earlier. In a letter today to the mayor and other city officials, Perry wrote, quote, "By this notification, I assert I have sufficiently addressed the issues that prevented me from carrying out my duties as a council member." City Hall reporter Garrett Berger with reaction from council members and whether they feel like they should have pushed Perry to resign amid all this.
At the start of Wednesday's council meeting, word was out that Councilman Clayton Perry would be back for Thursdays.
He did call me this morning, just give me a heads up.
His imminent return, welcomed by Mike Gallagher, the previous D10 councilman who was appointed 6 weeks ago to fill in for Perry.
He's been through some pretty good rehabilitation, and I think it's been very, very helpful for him.
Any details on the rehabilitation?
No, I think it would most likely be something that Councilman Perry should talk about, if he does it all, because I'm sure some of it would be medical type of questions.
Not everyone wanted to talk about it.
What do you think about Councilman Perry returning tomorrow?
Happy New Year, Garrett.
Come on, Councilwoman, what do you think?
On November 14th, the same day Perry announced his leave of absence, council members passed a vote of no confidence in him. But first, they scrapped a call for him to resign, something only the mayor voted against.
I stood by my vote that day. I continue to stand by it now.
Perry abstained, along with District 2's Jalen McKee Rodriguez.
I did immediately regret not voting no.
The other 8 members voted for removing the call to resign. At the time, Perry was only charged with failure to stop and provide information. He's since been charged with DWI and accused of having 14 drinks in 4 hours, shortly ahead of the head-on crash. We asked council members for their thoughts on the vote, looking back on it now.
I think in light of new details, it may have been different for some. I said at the time, he was a man that asked for forgiveness, and my faith doesn't allow me to deny forgiveness of a man that's asking for it.
I think it's up to his voters to weigh in and hold him accountable to anything that they think that he needs to be held accountable to.
We've made multiple attempts to reach out to Councilman Perry via phone and text, but so far have not received any response. His seat is up for election on the May 6th ballot. His term ends in early June. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Garrett. 2 San Antonio teenagers arrested for breaking into cars and then leading officers on a chase. This happened Tuesday morning in New Braunfels. This is one of the suspects, Joe Angel Puente. Police say he and 2 others were reported for forcibly breaking into cars in a shopping center near I-35. When officers got there, the suspects took off in a gray car and then led officers on that chase. But 2 were eventually caught, a 16-year-old male and Puente. A 3rd suspect was not caught.
A woman arrested for stabbing a man 4 times during an argument. This is Loretta Appelt. She's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Arrest records state on Monday Appelt and a man were arguing over her sister. At some point, Appelt reportedly pulled a knife and stabbed the man's head and neck. He was taken to University Hospital. Appelt later arrested. Her bond set at $100,000.
On Monday, we reported on more baby deaths linked to popular infant incline sleepers after they were recalled.
So how is this possible? Are companies doing enough to warn parents of the dangers of these products? As 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, some safety experts say that simple answer is no.
Breaking news tonight on a major recall of the popular Rock and Play sleeper made by Fisher-Price.
That was the spring of 2019 when Fisher-Price and Kids 2 infant incline sleepers were recalled. That came after a Consumer Reports investigation revealing at least 36 deaths linked to the products. Since then, that number has tripled, and 12 of those deaths came after the recalls.
These sleepers position infants on an inclined sleeping surface, and that increases the risk of suffocation if it makes their heads drop forward onto their chests while they're sleeping.
More deaths means even though the sleepers can't legally be sold, they are still used in homes.
When a product gets recalled, it's the manufacturer's responsibility to both get it out of the stores and to alert people who already own it to stop using it immediately. And safety experts say that they just haven't seen Fisher-Price or Kids 2 do enough in that area.
According to Mattel, Fisher-Price's parent company, as of last March, only 9.5% of the Rock and Play sleepers had been accounted for since the recall. In other words, more than 4 million recalled sleepers are potentially still in use. Mattel says Fisher-Price has worked diligently to remove all recalled product from the market. Kids 2 did not respond to a request for comment. To keep a baby safe, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends babies be put to bed only in products that meet federal safety requirements for infant sleep, such as a crib, bassinet, or play yard. And if you're struggling to get your infant to sleep, ask your pediatrician for advice. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
The double life of a Balcones Heights police officer ended in a violent shooting. It's a story we covered extensively when it happened years ago. Julian Pacina served as a police officer for San Antonio while also having ties to the Texas-Mexican mafia.
It's the focus of our new Texas Crime Stories podcast, hosted by Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman. It's tonight on YouTube at 7 o'clock. You can take part in this exclusive KSAT Insider event by signing up to be a KSAT Insider right now on KSAT.com.
Take a look at traffic out there right now. This is the TransGuide camera, Highway 90 at Couples. You can see traffic really moving smoothly in both directions. We got that FedEx vehicle and another vehicle off to the side there, but that doesn't seem to be slowing down traffic during the 5 o'clock commute.
Another warm day today, up around 80 degrees and even into the 80s in parts of our area. Take a look at the temperatures out there right now. 90 officially at the airport in Eagle Pass, 79 in Kerrville, 90 in Cotulla, 88 Carrizo Springs. Warren's backyard in Del Rio at 85 degrees. Right now, 85 in Floresville, along with Santa Maria. Meanwhile, locally, we're mostly in the 70s. Bulverde, for example, at 75. This evening, clear sky, not much of a breeze. Temperatures falling down through the 60s, mid 60s at 10 o'clock. And then the cold front hits at midnight. We're going to talk about the impact that cold front's going to have on our temperatures, wind, and mountain cedar count in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. Now to that nationwide ground stop on flights all across the U.S. A computer outage early this morning caused a cascade of flight cancellations and delays at airports coast to coast. As ABC's Morgan Norwood explains, all operations are now back online, but the backlog of passengers trying to get to their destinations, that's not over yet.
Air travel chaos. Hundreds of flights at airports nationwide brought to a standstill after a massive computer outage at the FAA. Planes seen sitting on the tarmac. Passengers ordered off aircraft.
The FAA did just post that no U.S. departures will happen today until 9 a.m.
Officials say the issue started late last night and quickly escalated. By early this morning, the Notice to Air mission system was completely offline.
NOTAMs are warnings or alerts to pilots that are often given to them before they fly, signed off by the pilot and a dispatcher, so they understand some of the risks and some of what they will encounter during their flight.
The outage quickly snowballing into a travel nightmare for passengers, many lining up at ticket and customer service counters searching for answers.
There's just a lot of frustration, a lot of confusion, trying to figure out what I should do. Trying to get an answer from the airlines.
Some airlines, including American, Delta, and United, extending flexibility with flight changes, while Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg promising the FAA will own their part in this meltdown.
My top priority right now is to understand the root cause, understand how it could have led to this level of disruption.
System was targeted in any way. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says that the root cause of this situation is under investigation. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Want to make a quick correction here. The Balcones Heights officer we were talking about earlier with ties to the Texas Mexican Mafia worked for the Balcones Heights Police Department. Sort out all the details. Watch the Texas Crime Stories podcast coming up at 7. Okay, going to the gym. Sometimes intimidating, navigating the equipment, it can be confusing. Throw in a disability, though, and it gets even more challenging. But one man from Seguin is hoping to change that.
After the break, meet Jaden, who had his arm amputated after a tragic accident. He's now using that experience to create an inclusive space for others.
A warning tonight about who you hire to work on your property. A Canyon Lake woman is out nearly $14,000 after the man she hired to build a privacy fence took that money and never did the work. Turns out he's a convicted thief who was using an alias.
How do you prosecute a guy named RJ with no address, no legal name?
One victim's cautionary tale coming up on the news at 6.
Plus, University Health celebrating an honor when it comes to its living donor kidney transplant program for kids. Tonight at 6, Courtney Friedman talks to a teenager with firsthand experience about the program and what makes it the best in the nation. It is a gym unlike any other, but its mission goes beyond getting in shape. A small fitness center in Seguin aiming to provide a supportive and inclusive environment for people with amputations.
It is an idea spawned by the owner's personal journey. Our Jonathan Cotto has that story.
You were given a gift, and you could say an amputation is a gift, or you might not, but to me, for me personally, I think it was a gift.
24-year-old Jaden Dennis lost his hand in a work accident in 2015.
What happened was I was picking up a pipe into this machine, and it caught the edge of my glove.
Dennis's dream was to serve in the military, but the mishap changed the course of his future. After spending weeks in the hospital, Dennis discovered a new passion in fitness thanks to his involvement in ROTC.
So I led all of the physical training, all of the workout regimens, took us to competitions and stuff like that.
He says he did go through an emotional roller coaster, but didn't let his amputation limit his dreams.
I started competing in powerlifting, won my first competition, told myself this is what I want to do. I love this. This is like me.
And his ambitions didn't end there.
And then when I won the first competition, I decided I want to open a gym.
Dennis, now a certified personal trainer, opening Flex Abled.
You know, whether it's for able-bodied people or disabled people, I just want to help push people to be the best they wanted to be.
Flex Abled will offer a variety of workouts curated by Jaden. He says this gym was created in an effort of creating a space that's welcoming and empowering for amputees where they can thrive and accomplish their goals. For more information, you can visit our website, KSAT.com. Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
I love that. A place for everybody.
I do too. Way to go, Jaden. Keep it up. All right. 78 degrees outside as we fly over the Pearl. They had the carbon monoxide scare earlier at Hotel Emma. We continue to monitor the situation there. But it's a beautiful day out on the green space there at the Pearl.
It is. And, you know, earlier today I was out driving. I was in the car with my wife, and we looked off into the distance on the horizon, and I said, you know, some of that haze out there is a result of mountain cedar right now. And I know a lot of us are feeling that and noticing it, and I do anticipate it to get even worse the next few days. We've got a cold front that hits at midnight. It's going to drop temperatures closer to average the next few days, but I do think we're going to remain above freezing. Let's talk about temperatures and our trend, because you will notice the afternoon's a bit cooler. But again, cooler being closer to what's average for this time of year. You look across the state, 87 Laredo, 87 Del Rio, even 84 in Junction. Then you get up into the Panhandle, and we've got some 60s, even out in West Texas. This is where this young cold front, newly developed cold front, is pushing in from. And it's going to tap into some of that cooler air from the north, but it's not going to be a big major cold front that brings us a hard freeze or any problems. Nothing like that. But it's mild out there right now. Officially we had a high of 79 at the airport today. But you look at Stinson, 83, 87 in Pleasanton, Comfort 80 degrees, Seguin 81. By tomorrow morning, we're in the low 50s. Not so bad behind a cold front this time of year. 53 in San Antonio. Then by the afternoon tomorrow, we're only in the 60s. Keep in mind the average high is 63, and we're even going to be a little above that. Bernie and Bulverde about 64. 67 around San Antonio, then even 70 degrees Divine, Poteet, and Pleasanton. So high temperatures in the 60s for most of us tomorrow afternoon, Friday, and even Saturday. But then come Sunday, it's back to 70s, and that's where we're going to be as we get into next week. I want to talk about the wind, because this is going to be a big factor with this cold front. Not much of a breeze out there right now, and it's out of the south. However, that's going to be changing. The wind's going to shift out of the north overnight tonight. First thing in the morning, you're going to notice that wind. It's going to be howling. Steady at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to about 35, and some locations may be closer to 45 miles per hour. Notice 7 a.m. our model's predicting 38 mile per hour gusts. It's within the realm of possibility, and even possibility of getting up to 40 miles per hour by 9 a.m. And then tomorrow night is when the wind will finally simmer down a little bit. Let's talk about what this has to do with mountain cedar. Mountain cedar count high today at about 4,700. The wind coming out of the north, coming out of the hill country tomorrow and Friday means the mountain cedar count is likely to rise. Not just tomorrow, but even the effects lasting through Friday. So that north wind tomorrow will be noticeable in more ways than one. Let's talk about our overall pattern. We do have some high clouds just to the northwest of us, but I don't think they'll be making it overhead in time to give us a nice sunset. Otherwise, we're watching this dip in the upper level flow near Colorado. That's what's helping to generate the cold front. It's moving eastward with the moisture. And overall, we've got a quiet weather pattern around here, but there's a glimmer of hope for a little bit of rain, maybe at least a rain chance by this time next week. And it's just a slight chance right now. Nothing to get your hopes up, but with a little shift, at least there's something to look and monitor right in the days ahead. 53 in the morning, 62 at noon, 66 the high. Don't forget how windy it's going to be tomorrow. And then our morning low temperatures down in the 30s Friday and Saturday, but 30s above freezing. Little different story in the hill country, but that's the coldest we're going to be.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right, so a lot of people looking forward to the game on Friday.
Yes.
But the Spurs have to take care of business tonight first.
And they're starting the second half of the season. They want to go a lot better than the first half of the season did. When we come back, more about that game tonight in Memphis. And nothing short of a miracle, Damar Hamlin released from the hospital, headed home. Coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs will tip off the second half of their season tonight when they face the Grizzlies in Memphis for the second time in 3 days. That's after they closed out the first half of the regular season with a 121-113 loss on Monday in Memphis, winning just 13 out of their first 41 games of the season, and currently sits second to last in the Western Conference, just in front of the Houston Rockets. It also renews the sibling rivalry between brothers Trey and Tyus Jones after the two started against one another on Monday. So, do they know each other's moves?
We watch each other almost every game we can. If we're not playing at the same time, we're watching each other, texting after the game, the next day, whatever it is. In the summers, we're working out together, working on the same moves, playing one-on-one against each other all the time. So, I think we've got each other's moves down for sure. He knows. I feel like he knows mine a little bit more. I don't know if that's just like an older brother thing or whatnot, but I feel like he's got my moves down a little bit more.
All right, tip time tonight, 7 p.m. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. Now, barring an injury management call by head coach Steve Kerr, Steph Curry is set to play Friday night in the Spurs' 50th anniversary game at the Alamo Dome. That's after Curry made his return to the Warriors last night. They took on the Phoenix Suns in San Francisco. Curry, who missed the last 11 games with a partially dislocated left shoulder, played 31 minutes, scored 24 points, including 5 out of 15 from three-point range. But it wasn't enough. The Warriors fell to the Suns 125-113.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Bills safety Damar Hamlin has been released from a Buffalo hospital just over a week after suffering a cardiac arrest on Monday Night Football. He spent almost a week in critical condition, fighting for his life in a Cincinnati hospital after being resuscitated twice after collapsing on the field in the game against the Bengals. After being transferred to the hospital in Buffalo on Monday, he went home today. Nothing short of a miracle. The Dallas Cowboys are in full game prep mode for the kickoff of the NFL playoffs this week. The Cowboys will open the postseason the way they started the regular season against the Buccaneers, only this time it will be in Tampa after they lost 19-3 in week 1. That said, how does Dan Quinn manage preparing for this game while also addressing the fact his name has come up as a vacant head coaching position again, starting with the Denver Broncos, who've asked permission to speak with him?
I think we addressed this last week, and so anytime somebody asks you, you're flattered. It's honoring, but quite honestly, I thought respectfully, we addressed all that last week, and nothing really to report on past that. So just right where my feet are and enjoying it, and then we're going to throw a kick week.
All right, except more requests are coming in, as well as Kellen Moore. The Panthers have asked to speak with Kellen Moore about their vacant head coaching position.
Distractions,
big time.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
Before we go, a reminder about tonight's Texas Crime Stories live stream.
Hosts Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman look back on the killing and double life of Julian Pacina, a Balcones Heights police officer with ties to the Texas Mexican Mafia.
It's an exclusive KSAT Insider event that starts at 7 o'clock. You can still have time to sign up. You could go to ksat.com/insider.
Get ready for the wind tomorrow. You're going to notice it, and that should boost the mountain cedar for a few days. 60s for highs tomorrow all the way through Saturday, but get ready for some cooler mornings Friday and Saturday in the 30s.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for watching the news at 5.
World News up next. See you back here at 6.